Before we talk about where an altar can be, let us first understand what an altar is. Because one question I get asked all the time is, can I have an altar in my bedroom? Okay, because sometimes people hear the word altar and immediately think of sacrifices, shrines, or something frightening, but that is not what an altar is. Okay, think about it this way. If you've ever seen someone with a small table where they have maybe a Bible, a devotional book with a cross and a journal on that table, that place is a dedicated space. Okay, in African spirituality, an altar is also a dedicated space, just like as it is in religion. An altar can be as simple as you having a table. You can put a glass of water or a bowl of water on it, white candle, incense, flowers, whatever resonates with your spirit. It doesn't have to be dramatic. The purpose of an altar is to create a space to remind your spirit and your soul, where you can connect with your higher self, meditate, and have one-on-one spiritual connection with the forces following you. That is what an altar is. Now let's talk about the bedroom. Okay, can an altar be in your bedroom? Yes, especially if that is the only private space you have, because not everyone has an extra room where they can create an altar. So why do people talk against you creating an altar in your bedroom? Let me explain. The bedroom is a place where you sleep. The bedroom is a place where you change your clothes, and also where you have intimacy with your partner. Okay, and an altar is meant to be a space that you keep clean. An altar is somewhere that is supposed to be peaceful and spiritually focused. So because of that, many people prefer to separate those two environments. Okay, it is not because the bedroom is evil. It is simply about creating healthy boundaries between you and your everyday activities, and also having a sacred moment with your spirit, because there are some things we as human and flesh do that weakens our spirit, that brings down our energy. So imagine you having an altar where after having sex, you do not cleanse yourself, you do not have like a boundary where you separate your altar from your bed. Things can actually go wrong. So this is why a lot of people advise against it. If you're someone that has mastered a way to be able to create boundaries and to be able to be careful around your altar and where you sleep, then yes, I would advise you can have an altar there. Another reason people are advised not to have an altar in their room, mostly this is for women, it is because of their menstrual cycle. It is not because a menstruation of a woman is dirty, or maybe the menstruation is spiritually inferior. No, because menstruation is a natural part of life. This is when you shed blood to Mother Earth. You do this every month, and in African spirituality, it is seen as a period where your body is going through physical and energetic work. Okay, so that is why a lot of priests and priestesses will tell you, whenever you're menstruating, don't go close to your altar. That is why they say all these things, because they want you to, it is just like you reducing your spiritual activities during this time, because already your body is doing the whole cleansing. That is why they always advise that you don't have an altar in your room. But it is something that you can actually manage. Okay, if you're somebody that is very conscious, there's something you can manage during that period. Don't go close to your altar, just stay far from your altar. You can do your prayers close to your bed. You can even take that time to do a cleansing for yourself, a cleansing ritual prayer for yourself. It doesn't have to be dramatic. It's something you're already shedding blood. All you just need to do is manifest and say good things to yourself. And for those people who do not have a private room or a private space for themselves, you can actually create an altar with your wardrobe. If you have a private wardrobe for yourself, and there's a space there or a section there where you can just keep your candles and make that space clean, where you can communicate with your higher self. Okay, because at the end of the day, an altar does not make someone spiritual. That's the truth. The only reason why we create all these altars is because we can have you can have an escape time away from reality, away from people, away from your phones. You can focus, you can meditate, you can have a one-on-one time with your higher self and your spiritual forces. That is why we create these altars. The altar already starts inside of you. It is not until you have 20 candles, 50 candles, 1 million candles before you can have an altar in your space. Okay, just little items, just for you to create a space where you can always commune with your higher self. It is enough. Okay, what matters is your sincere heart. It is not about what you put in that altar.